Hello students, myself Mohammad Izwan Sheikh, working as assistant professor in the Department of CSE, EIT Bhatkal. I'll be handling this subject, database management system, and the subject code is 18CS53. Let us have a glance at the textbooks which are referred by the video. The first one is Fundamentals of Database System, and the authors are Ramiz Al-Masri and Shamkant Nawathe. The 7th edition 2017 Pearson. Then we have another one textbook, Database Management System. Authors are Ramakrishnan and Gerke, 3rd edition, 2014, McGraw-Hill. And majority of the syllabus is covered from the first textbook, that is Nawate textbook, wherein first module and some part from second, third, fourth, fifth, all these things are being covered up in the first book. Then little part is covered from the second textbook, from the second module. Okay, then we have reference books. Just you can go to that if you want more information regarding a particular topic. There are two reference books also. You can refer them. We'll see what are the things that we are going to discuss in module 1. In the module 1, we are going to discuss regarding the introduction to databases. Therein we have introduction to database. Then what are the characteristics of database approach? Whenever we want to um, design any database, like what are the approaches that are present over there, then what are the advantages of using the DBMS approach. That is, if you follow a DBMS approach, then what are the advantages, then we will see like which are the areas wherein we should not use DBMS, all the things. Then history of database applications, like in which fields database find their application, we will glance at them. Then we have overview of database languages and architectures. There are a lot of database languages which we are going through in the second chapter. We will discuss regarding the data models, what actually the schemas are, what do we mean by instances. Then we have three schema architecture. That is, if you want to build any database, generally we will follow a three schema architecture, which we will be going through that. Then we have data independence. Then database languages, as I already said, there are different languages for creation of the database. Then we have interfaces, then the database system environment as a whole. After that, we will go through the conceptual data modeling using entities and relationship. Here we should be knowing what actually the entities are, what to mean by relationships, then how to create the ER diagrams, then what are the roles of the individual who are involved in these relationships, then what are the structural constraints. If you want to build any database, there are some constraints which we have to go through them. Then we have weak entity types, then ER diagrams, examples we'll be going through. Then we have a topic, specialization and generalization. Specialization is nothing but going through an approach wherein we will not generalize the things, we will consider only a particular thing over there. Then we have generalization. Generalization is a process wherein we will generalize the things, which will be going through that in detail. Okay, before moving on to chapter 1, wherein we will be discussing regarding the databases and the database users, like who are the users who are going to use this, who are the people who will be developing the databases, all these things. Before going to that, just we will have a glancing of what actually a database is. Right, knowingly or unknowingly, we will be using databases daily in our life. If we consider e-commerce websites wherein lot of data has been already stored and we are fetching the data daily, like if you want to purchase a mobile phone and all, just we'll be typing some of the keywords, and whatever we search over there, that is being checked up whether it is present in a database. If it is present in a database, then we'll be getting a output, okay, so and so mobile phone is present in this particular website, right? That is one application of your database. Then we have like Google search engine, right? Everyone uses it for searching some information over there, right? Whenever we type some keyword in a Google search engine, it will try to match up with the database, If the information is matching with that particular keyword which is already stored in the database, then we'll be getting like images. We can search for images of a particular keyword, whatever we are searching for. Or if you want to like get some movies or songs or some PDF files, whatever we are going to type it over there, that is being matched up with the keyword that are present in the database. If they are going to match up, then we'll be getting the results. Okay, these are the things that we are going to study in the first chapter. First, let us see where actually your databases have their applications. First, we'll concentrate on the traditional applications. Traditional applications are the applications which were found in the earlier days. Right, in those applications, in those databases, we used to store only numerics and textual things. Right, if we create a particular table wherein we used to store only either the numerics or the text over there. We could not save images or links, audios, all this information. Just we were using databases for storing only the numeric and the textual data, right? So we call them as a traditional applications of the databases. Then we have another one, applications of the databases which we are using in today's life, right? We call such kind of databases as multimedia databases, because in that particular database we can store numeric data, we can store textual data, we can store the images, audios, videos, everything is possible for us, right? Such kind of databases are known as multimedia databases. Then we have another one kind of databases where we are going to store the maps related things, right? Geographic information system, which is used by the scientists or the military people, wherein they want to store some information of a graph and all, they want to fetch it later, right? Apart from this, the database plays a vital role in the data warehousing concept and data mining, right? Data warehouses are the places wherein a huge amount of data is being stored for later uses, right, which will be dealing it later. Then we have real-time and active databases, right? Real-time databases are nothing but whatever information is being stored, that should be a real-time one, right? For example, uh, if there is like in real time, we can see a application which is used by the uh, IRCTC people, right, or the Konkan Railway people. They will update the train location at a particular frequency of time, either it is 1 second or something, wherein they will be getting where actually the train is, right? In the similar way, yeah, users can track the train and they can reach the station at correct time over there, right? Then we have a lot of other applications which will be studying in the later classes. Now we'll see the basic definitions which are required for database management system. First is a database. What actually a database is? A database is nothing but a collection of related data, right? Whenever we have data, we do not call it a database. If it is related only, then we say that okay, this is a particular database, right? Then we will go with a data, right? We will see what actually data is. Data is nothing but known facts that can be recorded and have an implicit meaning, right? If I am storing marks of a student like roll number 1, instead in front of that I'll be writing 25, 30, all this thing. That means it tells that okay, this is a mark scored by a particular person, right? So that is a known facts, right? Or else today's temperature, I can create a table wherein I will be storing today's date, and in front of that I'll be writing today's temperature. So that is a known facts, all these things. Then we have mini world. That is, whenever we are going to create any databases, we will not look globe as a whole. What we'll do is we will take part from the whole world and we'll concentrate on that, and we will be developing a database. Right, some part of the real world about which data is stored in a database. If you consider under university, there are lots of colleges. Now, if you want to create a database for the university, then you will be storing all the information from all the colleges that come under a university. If you want to target a particular college, then for you the world is a college itself. Okay, so this is the mini world. We will not uh, look for the whole world when we are dealing with databases. We'll be having our own limitations, we'll be having our own boundaries, considering which we'll be developing a databases. Then we have DBMS. DBMS is nothing but database management system. It's a software package, or we can call it as a system, to facilitate the creation and maintenance of computerized database. That is, if you want to create the database, or you want to update something, you want to modify something, you want to delete something, then you require some tool or the software. Okay, that software is nothing but DBMS, database management system. Right, we have a lot of examples of DBMS, like you have SQL, you have MySQL, then we have Oracle, PLSQL. So there are a lot of DBMS tools available. We'll be selecting whichever is needed for us. Then we have a database system. Database system is nothing but it is DBMS software plus data. When we combine two things, that is DBMS software, along with that if data is also present, then we call it as a database system. So these are the basic definitions which we should be knowing before actually studying the subject DBMS. Okay, thank you for watching this.